Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriya Ashtabhrayesh Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhagavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, Chapter 10, the trunk, branches and sub-branches of the Chaitanya tree. Text 54 onwards. Shivananda Sena Prabhu Pritya Antaranga Prabhu Sthane Jaite Jasa Behelayan Yara Sangha. Shivanand Sen, the 24th branch of the tree, was an extremely confidential servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone who went to Jagannath Puri to visit Lord Chaitanya took shelter and guidance from Sri Shivanand Sen. Prativarshe Prabhu Gana Sange Tela Hiya Nila Chale Chalin Pathe Palana Kariya. Every year he took a party of devotees from Bengal to Jagannath Puri to visit Lord Chaitanya. He maintained the entire party as a journey on the road. Bhakte Kripa Karin Prabhu Aitina Sarupe Sakshata Vesha Ara Virbhava Rupe. Okay, the theme changed. About Shivanand Sen. As I mentioned earlier, that he used to take care of the whole party, about whatever 300-400 devotees would go every year from Navdev to Bengal, Navdev to Jagannath Puri, and he would maintain the entire party. And it would take long time to reach Jagannath Puri. They would be walking. And so he would be making arrangement for advance party would go make arrangement in the village where they're going to stay at night, and prasadam arrangements have to be made. Now at that time, there were in Bengal and Odisha, there were different kings, and they would take toll from everybody passing through their kingdom. And these toll, it wasn't like that it was fixed. So it depended upon the inspector at the toll gate to charge whatever. So corruption was always there. So anyway, when they saw one year, what happened is this guy at the toll, he just didn't like devotees. So he asked for a big amount of toll for everybody to cross. And Shivanand Sen said, well, let them cross, I'll pay. I'm the one who's going to make the payment. Let them go, I'll pay. Okay. So the inspector, he asked for lots of money. And Shivanand Sen, so no, this is not reasonable because every year we go, we don't pay this much, we pay only this much. No. So the inspector put Shivanand Sen in a make a prison. Like he just imprisoned him. No, you pay this much toll or you're not going. And I'm going to punish you. Now the whole party was gone and Shivanand Sen alone was in the prison. And I believe he was also tortured a little. So in the middle of the night, this inspector comes to Shivanand Sen. And Shivanand Sen was also in shackles, he was tied up. And in this, like in normal Bollywood movies, when they interrogate a criminal, and this inspector sat in front of Shivanand Sen. He said, I am a devotee of Lord Jagannath, and you have faith in Lord Chaitanya. So among the two, who is greater? And your answer will decide whether you go or I'm gonna kill you or beat you up. Now, if it was somebody like us, then we would be like, oh, well, he is a devotee of Lord Jagannath, just say Lord Jagannath is better, he's supreme, and that's it. Keep going. Utility is the principle. Shivanand Sen looked at him right in the eyes. He said, they both are same, Chaitanya and Lord Jagannath, but of the two, Lord Chaitanya is better because he is walking and he is preaching and he is moving around. Lord Jagannath is sitting in one place. Without any fear, he said that. And the inspector looked at him in his eye. He said, if you had said Lord Jagannath is better, I would have punished you. I'm, I'm totally agreeing with you, I'm letting you go. And he let Shivanand Sen go. So this is the faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I don't remember if it's the same year or it's some other year it happened, that Lord Nityananda, Dvaitacharya, they all would be in the party going from Bengal to Jagannath Puri, and Shivanand Sen would make arrangements. So probably this year, because Shivanand Sen was stuck in the toll plaza or toll place, and the arrangements were not made properly of the stay in the next village. So Shivanand Sen, when he reached that village and he was running and he reached and to make sure everything is arranged properly, everybody stay and prasadam, but it wasn't done properly. And Nityananda Prabhu called him, Shivananda, come here. And Shivananda Sen went there and he begged for forgiveness. And he said, what's wrong, my Lord? What happened? Why are you so angry? Nityananda Prabhu said, you did not make proper arrangements. I'm so uncomfortable here. And he said, may your son die. And Nityananda Prabhu, we know he's an Avaduta. He's always in love of Krishna, love of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But when these words came out of his mouth, may your son die. Now the wife of Shivanand Sen, she started crying, what is this? After making all these arrangements, we are getting this punishment. But Shivanand Sen, he just rolled at the feet of Lord Nityananda and he said, you have blessed me. Whatever you say, may it come to be true. And I know whatever you say, it's going to be auspicious for me. And Nityananda Prabhu said, I was just testing your faith. And of course, Nityananda Prabhu was very happy with this service, but this he was just testing. So this was the mood of Shivanand Sen. And we know the story of that dog that once came along and he ended up in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place before this party of Bengal went there. And Mahaprabhu himself was feeding him prasadam. So great devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we are just reading about some of them. Bhakti kripa karen Prabhu etina swarupe sakshata vesha virbhava rupe. Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestows his causeless mercy upon his devotees in three features: his own direct appearance, sakshat, his prowess within someone he empowers, avesh, and his manifestation, avirbhav. The sakshat feature of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is his personal presence. Avesh refers to invested power, like that invested in Nakul Brahmachari. Avirbhav is a manifestation of the Lord that appears even though he is personally not present. For example, Shri Sachi Mata offered food at home to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he was far away in Jagannath Puri. And when she opened her eyes after offering the food, she saw that it had actually been eaten by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, when Srivas Thakur performed Sankirtan, everyone felt the presence of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even in his absence. This is another example of Avirbhav. साक्षाते सकल भक्त देखे निर्विशेष नकुल ब्रह्मचारी देखे देहे प्रभुर आवेश. The appearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in every devotee's presence is called Sakshat. His appearance in Nakul Brahmachari as a symptom of special prowess is an example of Avesh. Pradimna Brahmachari tar aage naam chela Narsimhananda naam Prabhu pacheta rakhila. So about this Nakul Brahmachari, I don't remember. I'll let you know. The former Pradyumna Brahmachari was given the name Narsimhananda Brahmachari by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they all had the Avesh, some special manifestation of mercy, of the potency of the Lord through them. Tahate haila Chaitanya avirbhava alokika aiche Prabhu aneka sabhava. In his body there were symptoms of avirbhava. Such appearances are uncommon, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed many such pastimes through his different features. In the Gaur Ganadesh Deepika, it is said that Nakul Brahmachari displayed the prowess, Avesh, and Pradyumna Brahmachari, the appearance, Avirbhav of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many hundreds and thousands of devotees of Lord Chaitanya, among whom there are no special symptoms. But when a devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu functions with specific prowess, he displays a feature called Avesh. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally spread the Sankirtan movement, and he advised all the inhabitants of Bharatvarsha to take up his cult and preach it all over the world. The visible bodily symptoms of devotees who follow such instructions are called Avesh. Srila Shivanand Sen observed such Avesh symptoms in Nakul Brahmachari, who displayed symptoms exactly like those of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Chaitanya Charitamrita states that in the age of Kali, the only spiritual function is to broadcast the holy name of the Lord. But this function can be performed only by one who's actually empowered by Lord Krishna. The process by which a devotee is thus empowered is called Avesh, or sometimes it's called Shakti Avesh. So Avesh is energy or the Shakti given specifically for a specific purpose when it is given to a living entity by the Lord. And this is what Prabhupada is saying, this Sankirtan movement that is spreading all over the world or will be spread more. So this, when we follow this, so it is called Avesh, means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy will flow through the devotees to spread this movement across. To whatever extent, everybody will have certain function to perform. Just like in when they were building the bridge on the sea, and Hanumanji was bringing big mountains and mountain tops and big rocks, and this squirrel was bringing few pieces of sand. But both were performing according to their capability, and Lord was really pleased with both their efforts. So all we have to do is somehow or other perform this service for the pleasure of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and obviously Srila Prabhupada. And they'll definitely be pleased. And this also Prabhupada mentions that this function can be performed only by one who's actually empowered by Lord Krishna. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartan. Without the mercy of the Lord, one cannot reach. So one who is preaching, definitely he has lots of mercy in the Lord. So one should appreciate that and pray to the Lord to also give me the mercy so I can also preach. That's all. Pradyumna Brahmachari was formerly a resident of a village known as Piari Ganja in Kala. There is a description of him in the Adi Lila of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, second chapter, and in the Antakhanda of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapters 3 and 9. Ashwadila Esabaras Sena Shivananda Vistarika Hiva Age Isavananda. Srila Shivananda Sen experienced the three features of Sakshat, Avesh, and Avirbhav. Later I shall vividly describe this transcendently blissful subject. So more discussion about Shivananda Sen. Srila Shivananda Sen has been described by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj as follows. Shivananda Sen was a resident of Kumarhatta, which is also known as Hali Sahar, and was a great devotee of the Lord. About 1.5 miles from Kumarhatta is another village known as Kanchada Pada, in which there are Gaur Gopal deities installed by Shivananda Sen, who also established a temple of Krishna Rai that is still existing. Shivananda Sen was the father of Paramanand Sen, who was also known as Puri Das or Kavi Karnapur. So Kavi Karnapur has written many, many books, wonderful books. Not many, but wonderful books he has written. Paramanand Sen wrote in his Gaur Gaunidesh Deepika that two of the gopis of Vrindavan, whose former names were Veera and Duti, combined to become his father. Srila Shivananda Sen guided all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya who went from Bengal to Jagannath Puri, and he personally bore all the expenses for their journey. This is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila. Srila Shivananda Sen had three sons named Chaitanya Das, Ram Das, and Parvanand. As mentioned above, this last son later became Kavi Karnapur and wrote the Gaur Gaunidesh Deepika. His spiritual master was Srinath Pandit, who was Shivananda Sen's priest. Due to Vasudev Datta's lavish spending, Shivananda Sen was engaged to supervise his expenditures. And Vasudev Datta was not just spending on anything, he was basically serving. But he was very lavish in his spending. Shri Shivananda Sen actually experienced Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's features of Sakshat, Avesh, and Avirbhav. He once took along a dog while on his way to Jagannath Puri, and it is described in the Adi Lila first chapter that this dog later attained salvation by his association. When Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Das, who later became Raghunath Das Goswami, fled his paternal home to join Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his father wrote a letter to Shivananda Sen to get information about him. Shivananda Sen supplied him the details for which he asked, and later Raghunath Das Goswami's father sent some servants and money to Shivananda Sen to take care of Raghunath Das Goswami. So, about Raghunath Das Goswami, this is another wonderful story. So, Raghunath Das Goswami was son of I'm forgetting, Jagdish and Hiranya Majumdar. So his father, I believe his father was Jagdish and his uncle was Hiranya Majumdar. So they both were big jamidars. It is said at that time, say about Mahaprabhu, about 500 years ago, their monthly income was 1 lakh gold coins, just from the taxing purposes. So Jamidars at that time, they were under Nawab Hussain Shah. Obviously, he was the king of Bengal. But the Nawab himself would not go and collect taxes from the villagers. So he had appointed these two brothers on his behalf to go and collect taxes, and part of taxes they would keep, and rest of taxes they would give to the treasury of Nawab. And Raghunath Das Goswami was the only son, only child, in fact, in that family. So can we imagine the wealth, how rich he was? Even, I mean, if we compare with today, it was billions of dollars of income every year. But somehow, Raghunath Das, he came in contact with the devotees. Although his father and uncle, they were also devotees, they were also spending wonderfully for the propagation of Mahaprabhu's propagation of Harinam. In fact, they invited Haridas Thakur in their house to give lectures. So somehow Raghunath Das, he became attracted to chanting and to devotion service, and he had no interest in the business. So seeing the mood of Raghunath Das, and Raghunath Das just wanted to run away from the house when he heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now in Jagannath Puri, and he wanted to be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he attempted to run away. But his father had kept some security guards who would bring him back, bring Raghunath Das back. So seeing all these things, his father and mother, they decided to get Raghunath Das married to a beautiful, very nice girl. So he was married, but still he had no attraction towards his wife. And he would still attempt to run away. So later on, yes, his mother and father, they were discussing that if he cannot be bound up by money and by his wife, beautiful wife, nothing can bind him, but we are still going to try. So one day, Krishna's arrangement, and meanwhile that Panihati Chidadahi festival happened when Nityananda Prabhu actually gave his mercy to Raghunath Das Goswami, and after that he was able to successfully run away. So one day what happened was there was this family priest of Raghunath Das and his father's family, and he came and he said, oh, one of the pujaris, he is not interested in doing the service of the deities, so please come and talk to him. And Raghunath Das told his father that this Guruji has come, so I have to go with him to see that pujari. The father said, okay, yeah, go talk to him. And when Raghunath Das Goswami left, he thought this is the right time, and he ran away to Jagannath Puri to be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he did not go by the main roads. He was going here and there, and so that he knew his father is going to send some security people to take him back. So he took the forest route, and somehow he reached Jagannath Puri. And Mahaprabhu, when he saw Raghunath Das has come, he was pleased. And he put him under the care of Swarup Damodar Goswami. Now, this is what Prabhupada mentioned. His father wrote a letter to Shivanand Sen to get information, and his father sent some servants and money because he understood Raghunath Das is not going to come back. So might as well live in Jagannath Puri, and I'll send some servants and money so he can live. He can live comfortably, not lavishly, but comfortably. So whatever money Raghunath Das Goswami was getting, he was using it in the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by inviting him for lunch and buying all the lunch prasadam from Anand Bazar and inviting other Brahmins for lunch. But one day, see, this is what happens when, of course, Raghunath Das Goswami is already on a very high level, but this is how he is teaching us. When we engage in bhakti, slowly, the material desires, they just go down. So after a while, Raghunath Goswami thought, what is this? Why I am taking money from my father? This is not right. I am here to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he stopped. He stopped taking money and he sent the servants. And Mahaprabhu once asked that Saru Damodar Goswami that how come I'm not getting any lunch invitations from Raghunath Goswami? So Damodar said, well, he has stopped taking money from his house. So he cannot afford to buy lunch for you now. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. He said, yes, that's the right way of living. So Mahaprabhu asked him, how is he living? How is he feeding himself? Saru Damodar Goswami said, well, he goes outside Jagannath Puri temple and he stands in the line of beggars. And he just begs from rich people who come, who have bought prashadam from Anand Bazar, and then give it to beggars. Mahaprabhu was very happy. Yes, this is good. And we think whatever little austerities we perform, these are great. We have some way to go right now, actually. But anyway, after a few days, Mahaprabhu again asked Swarup Damodar Goswami, how's Raghunath Das doing? I don't see him. And Raghunath Das Goswami, actually, since he was put in the care of Swarup Damodar Goswami, he would not approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly. Whatever questions he had and whatever information he had to give, he would just speak with Swarup Damodar Goswami. So how is he, what's the news? How is he doing? How is he feeding himself? Swarup Damodar Goswami said, see, earlier he used to stand in the line of begging, but then he thought that my purpose is not here to sit and beg for food. And moreover, I feel like a prostitute because when I see this rich man who has given me the other day, I feel that, oh, he'll give me today only also, and I'll go beg from him. He said, this is not correct. So Mahaprabhu asked, so how is he feeding himself? Swarup Damodar Goswami said, see, after all the prashadam is distributed to the beggars, the remaining prashadam is thrown away in a particular place. So Raghunath Das Goswami goes there and he picks up that rice and prashadam, washes it, and then he eats. Mahaprabhu was very happy. Yes, this is the right renunciation. And then again, a few days passed. Mahaprabhu again asked, how's he surviving? How's he doing? Swarup Damodar said, even then, although he was eating all the leftover prashadam, he thought, no, this is also not right. Because the first right to that prashadam, to leftover or thrown away prashadam, is of the cows and the animals of Jagannath Puri. So he, after the cows and animals have eaten, whatever is left over, he brings it home and he washes it, and that's what he is eating. Can you imagine how rich his father and uncle were and what he was eating? The food that is thrown away and is left over after all the animals have eaten. That's what he was eating. And then when Mahaprabhu heard that, yes, this is the best example. And that's why Chaitanya Charitamrita said, Mahaprabhu Bhakta Gane Vairagya Pradhan. Among all the devotees of Mahaprabhu, Vairagya, renunciation is Pradhan. Not attachment, not enjoyment. Vairagya. And when Mahaprabhu heard this, he was very, very happy. And he came to see Raghunath Das Goswami where he was staying. And Raghunath Das was really surprised to see Mahaprabhu at his cart. And Mahaprabhu said, I've heard that you're eating wonderful preparations, very, very tasty preparations, and you're not feeding me anymore. What's wrong with you? And Raghunath Das goes, who told you I'm eating wonderful preparations? Very, Mahaprabhu said, yeah, eating very opulently. Show me what you're eating. And then, although Raghunath tried to stop Mahaprabhu from eating what he was supposed to eat and all this leftover food, and Mahaprabhu just grabbed one handful of that rice and he just ate it. And then he said, this is the most opulent prasadam I've ever eaten. Actually, he was eating the devotion and renunciation of, not eating, the tasting, the devotion and renunciation of Raghunath Das Goswami. And that was pleasing him. And because of what Raghunath Das Goswami heard from Swarup Damodar Goswami about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, after Mahaprabhu unmanifested his pastime, Raghunath Das Goswami could not live in Jagannath Puri anymore because of so much of separation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He decided to come to Vrindavan, go on top of Govardhan and jump from there and commit suicide. That was his plan. So he came to Vrindavan, and Rupa and Sanatan Goswami heard, and this is what he is planning to, and they preached him, no, don't do this, this is not what we are supposed to do. They said, just live here and write books. And also Raghunath Das Goswami is the one who would speak to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami every day, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is the result of that conversation every day. And also, since we go to Radhakund, that is where he used to do his bhajan and his samadhis at the banks of Shyamkund. And Raghunath Das Goswami is considered our Prayojan Acharya. Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami is Sambandha, Rup Goswami is Avedaya, and Raghunath Das Goswami is Prayojan. Prayojan means love of Krishna. That's the goal. And Raghunath Das Goswami achieved that, and he also teaches us through his books, through his character, through his example. Okay, enough about Raghunath. More we can discuss whenever his disappearance day comes. Once Shivanand Sen invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house and fed him so sumptuously that the Lord felt indigestion and was somewhat sick. This became known to Shivanand Sen's eldest son, Chaitanya Das, who gave the Lord the kinds of food that would help his digestion, and thus Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased. This is described in Adi Lila, 10th chapter. Once while going to Jagannath Puri, all the devotees had to stay underneath a tree without the shelter of a house or even a shed. And Nityanand Prabhu became very angry as if he were greatly disturbed by hunger. Nityanand Prabhu cannot be disturbed by hunger, but he was showing it. Thus he cursed Shivanand's sons to die. Shivanand's wife was very much aggrieved at this. And she began to cry. She very seriously thought, since her sons had been cursed by Nityanand Prabhu, certainly they would die. When Shivanand later returned and saw his wife crying, he said, why are you crying? Let us all die if Nityanand Prabhu desires. When Shivanand Sen returned and Srila Nityanand Prabhu saw him, and the Lord kicked him severely, complaining that he was hungry and asked why he had not arranged for his food. So such is the behavior of the Lord with his devotees. Srila Nityanand Prabhu behaved like an ordinary hungry man, as if completely dependent on the arrangements of Shivanand Sen. So this was his mercy, way of giving his mercy. Of course, we cannot imitate Nityanand Prabhu's pastime. We cannot start kicking others and thinking I'm giving them my mercy. A nephew of Shivanand Sen's, named as Shrikanta, left the company in the protest of Nityanand Prabhu's curse and went directly to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri, where the Lord pacified him. On that occasion, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu allowed his toe to be sucked by Puri Das, who was then a child. It is by the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he could immediately compose Sanskrit verses. So Puri Das, or what was his name? Kavi Karnapur. During the misunderstanding with Shivanand's family, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered his personal attendant, Govinda, to give them all the remnants of his food. This is described in Adi Lila, chapter 12, verse 53. So wonderful pastimes are there, because we have to have proper understanding of the mood of Nityanand Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shivananda Rupashaka Tara Parikara Putra Bhriti Adhikari Chaitanya Kinkara. The sons, servants, and family members of Shivanand Sen constituted a sub-branch. They were all sincere servants of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Das, Ramadas, Ara Karnapura, Teen Putra Shivanandir Prabhur Bhakta Sura. The three sons of Shivanand Sen, named Chaitanya Das, Ramadas, and Karnapur, were all heroic devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Das, the eldest son of Shivanand Sen, wrote a commentary on Krishna Karnamrita. That was later translated by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his paper Sajjan Toshan. According to expert opinion, Chaitanya Das, who was the author of the book Chaitanya Charita, also known as Chaitanya Charita Amrita, which was written in Sanskrit. The author was not Kavi Karnapur, as is generally supposed. This is the opinion of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So sometimes, those books that were written not properly found, so not properly found in the sense, I mean, sometimes you find some pages and they were not printed like now we have the printed books, so didn't know the author. Shri Ramdas was the second son of Shivanand Sen. It is stated in Gaur Gaunandesh Deepika that the famous parrots named Daksha and Vichakshna in Krishna Lila became the elder brothers of Kavi Karnapur, namely Chaitanya Das and Ramdas. So famous parrots. So in Krishna Lila, especially now coming to Krishna Lila, Vrinda Devi, and we know her form as Tulsi Devi. So Vrinda Devi, she is in charge of arrangement of the pastimes in Golok Vrindavan. Whatever pastime, Purnamasi, she decides what pastime is going to happen on which day. And then Vrinda Devi makes the arrangements. So she has many servants. Also, she has a team of 1 lakh parrots. So if we go to this place, Vrindakund, near Nandagaon, now ISKCON has a beautiful temple there, and 2 little ponds are also there. So on those trees near Vrindakund, we'll find many parrots are still there. So those are the team of Vrinda Devi. And what do? Parrots. Some of the parrots sing, some of the parrots, they just go around and see who is where and give the message. They're like the spies of Vrinda Devi. So whereas Abhimanyu, who was supposedly Radharani's husband, and then Jatila, Radharani's mother-in-law, and Kutila, Radharani's sister-in-law. So where are they? What are they doing? And if Radha Krishna can have the pastime here, and if Radha and Krishna are there performing their pastime, and if Jatila Kutila are on their way, they come, fly, give the message to Vrinda Devi, and she has to make arrangements. It just happens every day, whole day. Every day's pastime. So this is what these parrots are famous for in Krishna Lila. So it's not like one has to be only gopi or manjari to be able to serve. Parrots also perform wonderful service. Karnapur, the third son, who was also known as Paramanandas or Puridas, was initiated by Srinath Pandit, who was a disciple of Sri Advaita Prabhu. Karnapur wrote many books that are important in Vaishnava literature, such as Anand Vrindavan Champu. So that Anand Vrindavan Champu has wonderful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Alankar Kostub, Gaur Ganadesh Deepika. So Gaur Ganadesh Deepika, as we're studying, it gives an who is who in Gaur Lila and what's his personality in Krishna Lila. And the great epic Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak. He was born in the year 1448, Shakabda, AD 1526. He continually wrote books for 10 years, from 1488 until 1498. So, well, I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments? See all these. Yes, Manta, Hare Krishna.
मुझे text 56 थोड़ा सा clear कर देंगे please.
Text 56.
Yeah. 56 मतलब अभी जो we are on 63, 62 ना we just 56.
56 में है Sakshat and Avesh and Avirbhav.
Yes.
So Mahaprabhu, it is said, in three features he bestows his mercy. His own direct appearance as Sakshat, and then when he gives his power, he empowers somebody to perform some specific pastime. That is Avesh. And his manifestation like Avirbhav. So as it is mentioned that like when Sachimata would cook in Navadvip, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could be in Jagannath Puri, but he would come and accept prasadam cooked by Sachimata. So it was said, later on we'll read, I think 3 places he would be there, where Sachimata is cooking, where devotees are performing kirtan, and one more place. I'm forgetting the third place. Sachimata cooking, kirtan, and there was one more. I have to read that. So that will be Avirbhav. He would just appear there and accept and then go away. Is it okay?
Prabhuji, it's okay, but still not clear to me. See, when his own direct appearance is Sakshat, appearance ho gaya, Sakshat darshan de diye. His power is Avesh. Avesh is normally in Hindi is the word which we use normally for a थोड़ा गुस्से में आकर के कुछ आवेश में आके आपने कुछ कह दिया. So this word is like what, like
that Avesh is, we got the force of anger.
So here,
but here
like his
Avesh is actually means the force, the power given by Mahaprabhu to certain devotee, like Nakul Brahmachari, it is displayed the prowess Avesh. Just like Shakti Avesh, Normally it is said Shakti Avesh.
Mhm.
Like Narad Muni, not even Mahaprabhu, but is Shakti Avesh of Krishna. So he has an Avesh of Bhakti, to give Bhakti to others.
Okay.
Um, Maharaj Prithu, we read about in Bhagavatam. So he had the Avesh of being a king, doing the ruling.
Mhm.
So he had the power to rule properly according to scriptures. So he had that Avesh.
Okay.
4 Kumaras have Avesh of Gyan, giving Gyan, knowledge.
Oh.
So this is how. So Avesh means they're given a specific purpose and given the powers to do that purpose.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I was just getting confused with this Avesh with the Hindi Avesh.
Yeah, Avesh, generally, yes, we hear of only anger. But
Uh-huh.
that's also power, but wrong power used in wrong way, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
But Hanumanji and Arjun, they used that anger Avesh in the right way.
Hmm.
Okay.
Clear, Prabhuji.
All
Thank you
have a
very much.
safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.